couple of eggs from my neighbor's place and some radish greens from my from my garden. So, my name's Oliver, and it's like May the 6th or 7th or something. Time seems to slow down during this situation we have going on. And I thought that I might offer some of my personal thoughts, if anybody cares, while I make myself something to eat, because it seems like I have a little bit more time to talk about things when I eat. Maybe. I'm just extremely busy. A lot of stuff most of the time. And, that's beautiful right there. So, wanted to talk about Joe Biden. And, the Democratic establishment, and what they've saddled us with, which is essentially some very bad news. Like, if Hillary Clinton wasn't a bad enough candidate, they're like, let's go even worse. Let's go with somebody who is just absolutely against anything that helps working people, or is in any way progressive. Like, let's not reach out an olive branch to the progressives. Let's give them the finger. So, and he needs progressives in order to win, or they do. Someone does. It ain't gonna be him. He can't win. His only hope is that Trump loses, which I don't believe that anybody who is pro-Trump still at this point, that there's anything that you can say to convince them not to vote for him. You get a little bit of here and there, you get a little bit of scuttlebutt about some Republican is like, I can't support him anymore. And it's like, it took you long enough, and it goes away pretty fast. It's not like there's a mass exodus of people marching away from the Trump train at any given time. So yeah, Joe Biden has been accused of rape, and it looks pretty serious. I mean, you look at the guy, and he doesn't respect people's personal space. He doesn't respect people. He's willing to cut Social Security. He's willing to drop bombs on kids. Do I put rape past him? No. Can't prove it, but I don't need to. Like, one rape of one person doesn't even begin to compare to the policies, the results of the policies that he's pushed. quadrupling the prison population in America with his crime bill resulted in a lot of rapes. The invasion of Libya by him and Obama resulted in actual slavery, like open air slave markets. Like, you think there's no rape going on? They drop bombs on children. They would rather do that than make sure that you can go to a doctor. They don't care about you. And the Democrats, they don't mind. They would love for Trump to win again. And it's because they don't stand to lose anything. They're all going to be rich because of his tax cuts. They're going to be supporting the same, policies whether or not he's in office. And one thing that Trump said that he was being honest about was that he gets good ratings. That's what it comes down to. It's the Pentagon channel. You're watching the Pentagon channel. It gets people angry and stupid and shouting at each other and not thinking about how to actually deal with the problems that we have. Go and cast your angry ballot for the blue or the red or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one's on top, and we've known this since the beginning. They're controlled by the same people. Jeff Bezos owns media and the government, and he's working with the CIA to track you. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy. It's all easily provable. So, Biden. Yeah, they couldn't have picked a worse candidate. As much as I despised Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren and all the others, they picked the absolute least likable guy to be their standard bearer. Sanders, I don't know what's up with Sanders. I have my suspicions, and anything that I'm saying here, it's just my own personal ideas of the way things are. Not saying I'm right. I'm probably closer to right than a lot of people, but this is just where I'm coming from. So I look at Bernie Sanders, the mayor of Burlington, and I look at how he had an inclusive government that tried to work with working class people, tried to work with the youth, and by all accounts was extremely successful of bringing everybody's level of living up, of having a good society there where people like to live. And, agree with his policies or not, most people believe that he's honest, which is so weird when he says Joe Biden's his good friend and all that, because and a decent person. Like, Joe Biden isn't a decent person. There's That's just no. He's a monster, like pretty much all of them. But I see what Sanders has tried to do and, has actually accomplished in public office. And I want to believe that he's still got his heart in the right place. Um, Jimmy Dore says that, you know, Bernie Sanders doesn't want to be another Nader. And I kept thinking about that. And I have a theory. I think that maybe Bernie Sanders doesn't want to be another Obama. Because Obama ran on progressive policy, end war, protect whistleblowers, and he did the exact opposite. And that kind of crushed a lot of people's hopes and stuff. And, perhaps Bernie Sanders would become president and he'd have to follow the script and do all the shit that they want him to do. And progressives would see somebody that they believed was a leader be just as crooked as every other son of a bitch that's been president in my lifetime, probably ever. And he doesn't want that to be his legacy, is that he betrayed everybody in the worst possible way, you know. Like I said, this is just me kind of spitballing, but tell you, I'll never vote Republican or Democrat for president again. There's no way. They're all just slimy, and believing in any of them is probably the worst thing that you can do. Anyhow, that's my take. So.